Alright, strings are important, and C treats strings quite differently, so it's important to understand a bit about how strings work in C. So strings are character arrays ending with this /zeros character in C. Okay, so if you do 27 equals to pen, double quotation marks, then you do not need to add a /0 because automatically added at the end. Now, on the other hand, if you actually use 27 equals to this curly braces pen/0, then you need a 0 because if not, no 0, you will not be considered a string. Right, if you don't put a 7 here, you default to size 4. Right, and this is what you get in memory. You have pen/0 and you have 3 more blank characters. Okay, they can be anything because you're not initialize them. Okay, so essentially to print strings, use this %s, right, to print. So for example, if you do printf %s/n2, 2 is pen, so you print pen. And then you can declare also an array of strings in this way. This is just a character array, right? So here you have an array of 3 characters, right? And they are all of length 6, but they're less than that because here we'll have 6, here's only 5. Okay, so you can do more things. For example, you can copy strings, and you use this thing called string copy. So for example, if you do 250 use a pen, and the 2 is equals to pneumatic drill, okay, you have a problem, right? Because you have error. So what you need to do is that you need to do string copy to pneumatic drill, then it's okay. So use string copy to assign a string, and it's available from string.h. The other functions, you can do string length, you can compare strings, you can also do tokenization. Right, string talk is like Python split. Next, we need to learn about how to get input. Alright, so the way that C handles inputs is using these things called streams. A stream is a sequence of data elements that is made available over time or sequentially. And it's like a pipe or conveyor belt, right? You just have access to the next item, okay, one at a time. So streams can input from a screen, from a keyboard, hard disk, printer, network ports. Okay, so these are all different ways of getting input as a stream. Right, and typically what you have been doing using printf is that you're printing to a standard output stream, okay, which is called standard out. Next, one common string is this thing known as a file stream, and the way you do it is that you create a new file pointer of type file star. Okay, so remember file is defined in standard IO, and star is a pointer, right? So when a stream contains text, you can read it line by line, just like Python, and this line must end with a /n. The different functions that you need to access files. First, you can fopen, which opens a file. You can fscanf, which reads from a file. Fprintf prints to a file, and then you can close the file. Let's talk about how you read a file. And essentially, to read a file, you use this percentage formatters, just like printf. Okay, and this piece of code, once you run it, you should get this results if you use spell.txt. Okay, because first, let's take a look at how this works. Alright, so first of all, use fopen to open a file. So you have a file pointer, it is called infile, star, okay, it's a pointer. And you basically open a name of the file. Okay, this is the file name, and this is the mode. So R stands for reading mode. Okay, so this causes the file to open and the file pointer to be assigned to infile. Right, if the file cannot open, then you get null pointer. Alright, so this takes in a file name string, right? And you have 2 different modes, read and write, R and W. Alright, so after opening a file, you need to read it. And to read a file, you use this thing called fscanf, right? And essentially you have a file pointer, and you have these formatters, right? So you basically read the number entries into this D, okay? And this goes into this variable. Then you can read S, D, and D. So it's a string, goes into the name. D and D goes into cost and cooldown. Note that this one's you use the addresses of these pointers instead. Right, so like printf, we use the format strings like the %s, %d, and you must match the type of the file. Right, and arguments that come after that, right? So to tell you where to put the red elements. Okay, so basically fscanf will return the number of items, right? If you can match and assign to the different variables, okay, which can be fewer than what you provide for. If you reach the end of file, then you will basically get this symbol called EOF, right, which means that you've reached the end of the file. Well, it turns out you can also open a file for writing. So the way to write is use fprintf, and fprintf works just like printf, right? But instead of printing to the standard output, like the printf, it prints to a file. Right, so essentially what you do is that you can print to a file pointer. Standard output is some kind of pointer as well. So for example, you use fprintf standard out, this is the same as printf this. Okay, and obviously when you're done with the file, you can close it, right? It's always good to close a file. All right, and sometimes you have errors, right? So if you cannot find a file or you don't access permissions, fopen will return null. So you should check for it, otherwise you run into trouble. Okay, for example, if this you do this like in file equal fopen styles equal null, right? If this thing happens, then you know that you can't open the file. Otherwise, you do the normal thing. Okay, and you can also have interactive inputs. Means you can also read from screen. And the way to do it is to use, for example, in this code, right? You can basically print hello there. You know what's your name, okay? And then you can scanf string. Are you male or female? You can get a character, okay? So scanf looks like fscanf, so you can get a string. Use the keyboard input until a new line character and tries to match just like the fscanf. Okay, and basically your argument list should be a list of addresses. Don't forget the ampersand, right? And get car gets one character from the keyboard input string.